A tiny bird can make a high, squeaky sound, while a massive elephant can make a deep, low sound. Both of these are sounds traveling through the air right to your ears.
So both are sounds, but what makes one high and the other low? Well, let's dive right into this puzzle. What exactly are those invisible vibrations doing differently to create completely different sounds? Take a quick second to think about it. Predict what's actually happening.
The scientific word for this is pitch. Pitch tells us exactly how high or low a sound is. A sharp sports whistle, that's got a high pitch. A deep, heavy bass drum, that's a low pitch. When a bird chirps, high pitch. When a person sings in a super deep, rumbling voice, that's a low pitch. But where does this pitch actually come from?
Section 1. Fast vibrations.
To find out where pitch comes from, we really have to look closely at the source. All sound comes from vibrations, an object moving back and forth over and over again. Here, we're watching a vibrating string in super slow motion, and it brilliantly shows us our very first golden rule. Fast vibrations create a higher pitch. When an object completes a bunch of back and forth movements really, really quickly, the pitch goes up. It literally is that simple.
Let's test this out with a quick visual challenge. Look at these two rulers vibrating right over the edge of a desk. We're watching them for exactly 1 second. Look closely. Which vibration is faster? The one on the left is only bouncing a few times, but the one on the right is just buzzing up and down super quickly. Because the one on the right has a faster vibration, it's absolutely going to produce the higher pitch.
Section 2. Slow vibrations. Now what happens when our vibrating object moves a whole lot slower? Well, this brings us to our second golden rule. Slow vibrations create a lower pitch. If an object kind of takes its time and completes fewer back and forth cycles, the sound it makes is going to be deep and low. Just think of that heavy bass drum moving back and forth slowly, pushing out a deep, low-pitched boom.
Scientists actually have a special word for this vibration speed. It's called frequency. Frequency is just the number of vibration cycles that happen in a certain amount of time, and it's measured in something called hertz. So, a higher frequency just means faster vibrations, which means a higher pitch.
Section 3. Pitch is not volume.
Okay, we need to stop right here and absolutely crush the biggest mistake people make when talking about sound. They confuse pitch with volume. Listen, they are entirely separate. Pitch asks, is the sound high or low? Volume asks, is the sound loud or quiet? You can have a sound that's high pitch and extremely loud, like a fire alarm, or high pitch and very quiet, like a tiny soft whistle. Down at the bottom, a low pitch can be a super loud bass drum, but it can also just be someone humming softly to themselves. Let's lock this into our brains for sure. Fast does not mean big. The vibration rate, as in how fast it repeats, controls the pitch, but the vibration size, how big the physical wave is, controls the volume. A tiny, fast vibration makes a quiet, high pitch. A massive, slow vibration makes a loud, low pitch. You never want to mix those two up.
Okay, so we know all about high and low vibrations now. But here is a total mind-bending question for you. Can a sound exist even if you cannot hear it? What do you think?
The answer is a massive yes. Human ears are totally amazing, but they do have limits. We can hear the hearing range of vibrations right in the middle there. But look over to the left. Vibrations that are too slow and deep for us to hear are called infrasound. And look to the right. Vibrations moving way too fast for our human ears to detect are called ultrasound.
Section 4. Animal hearing ranges.
Because humans only hear a specific range, different animals actually live in completely different invisible sound worlds. Let's start with ultrasound. Remember, this means the vibrations are incredibly fast. These are way too high for human ears. But you know who can hear them perfectly? Bats.
This builds into this amazing superpower called echolocation. Many bats send out extremely high-frequency ultrasound squeaks. First, the bat sends out the sound. Next, that invisible sound wave hits something, maybe a moth or a tree in the dark. Finally, the sound bounces off and an echo returns right back to the bat's ears. Because the pitch is so high and fast, the bat can detect tiny objects in pitch blackness. And a human standing right there, it's completely silent. Now let's swing over to the complete opposite side of the scale, infrasound. These vibrations are so slow and deep that human ears just miss them entirely. But they're absolutely perfect for elephants. Elephants can produce and hear very low-frequency, deep rumbles.
And this brilliantly shows us why low pitch is so useful. These slow infrasonic vibrations don't just travel through the air, they can actually travel right through the solid ground. An elephant can feel and hear these deep rumbles from miles away to communicate with their herd, all while a human standing nearby hears absolutely nothing.
Let's do one more quick misconception check, because this trips up so many people. Ultrasound does not mean ultra loud. It just means an ultra high frequency. And infrasound does not mean extremely quiet. It just means an ultra low frequency. Remember, pitch and volume are completely separate things.
Section 5. The Ultimate Pitch Challenge.
Okay, you've learned so much. It's time for the Ultimate Pitch Challenge. I'm going to throw some quick scenarios at you, and I want you to predict if the sound will be a high or low pitch. Ready? Shout out your answers. First up, a tiny string vibrating incredibly fast. High or low? High pitch. Next, a massive rubber band vibrating super slowly. High or low? Low pitch, exactly. Okay, last one, kind of a trick question. A sound with a very fast vibration, but the physical size of the wave is really small. High pitch or low pitch? It's a high pitch. The small size just means it'll be quiet, but the fast speed means the pitch stays high.
If you only take away one golden rule from this entire explainer, make it this one. Vibration rate changes pitch. Fast vibrations make a higher pitch, slow vibrations make a lower pitch. It is all about the speed of that back and forth movement.
You now know exactly how to change a sound from high to low. But what if a sound is simply too loud or unwanted? How can we make it quieter? Well, that is exactly what we're going to investigate in our next explainer. See you there.